three things, Sam, every day. Number one is a transition defense. In everything we do, that's the number one thing that we teach on the defensive end. Because if you can't get your defense set, you have no shot. And rather than just saying, hey, sprint faster, talk, and obviously those two things are very important with transition defense. We have a lot of rules. They have to, I think they got to match your offensive rebounding rules, obviously, which then those have to match your shape on offense, right? So if you're a 5-out team, you can't go like, hey, these three guys are crashing and these two guys are back. That's like old school approach, in my opinion, like when you were 3-out, 2-in. That worked, right? But with 5-out shape, you got to be a little bit different, right? You got to adjust your offensive rebounding rules, which are then going to adjust your transition defensive rules, right? So we spend ridiculous amounts of time on transition defense because it is the hardest thing, right? Because it's happening so fast. So that is number one. Can we be elite? And I look at two things. How many of the shots that we're giving up are in the first 7 seconds of the shot clock, right? We want to be less than 20% of the opponent's field goal attempts are in the first 7 seconds. And then what's our points per possession in those shots? Where are we at? Right. But it's hard, man. But we work on that every single day. And then I'd say number two, so one is transition defense. Two is no paint. We're a pack line, man-to-man defensive team. So you talk about how our team's going to get paint touches because we want to be no paint. I'd say it's one is drives, two would be ball screens, and three post-ups, right? So pack line really takes care of penetration. Like we are going to build walls around the ball, right? We're going to be tough and pressure, but we're going to build walls around the ball. Ball screens, we hedge. So I've kind of went the opposite way, Sam. A lot of people were dropping over the last 6 years, which dropping's great. And it's all about your personnel, right? Like if you have a big that's not as mobile, it's a shot blocker, you probably do want to drop. But I like putting two on the ball because I feel like guards have gotten better and better versus drop. And you're just giving up paint touches. So we make teams skip the ball against us. Like we're not allowing anything on the ball, and we're not allowing with the ball handler, and we're not allowing anything with a roller. You got to skip it, and then we'll play. And then the third piece would be the post defense. We trap it a lot. I want to be aggressive, to get the ball. I don't want the ball inside the pack line, so we trap it different ways to keep teams off balance. But I think like my thing is how can we protect that paint at all costs, right? And we want to change our aggressive. It's almost like hot and cold. I think great defenses can go from hot to cold with their aggressiveness, passiveness. You're constantly changing to keep that team off balance. So one is transition defense, two is no paint, third one is just last one is just one and done. Like the great teams, man, they limit you to one shot. So we emphasize that in everything that we do. So those are kind of our three tenets on defense.